Good morning, everyone. It's May 5th, Tuesday. Happy Cinco de Mayo. So welcome to KPOZ, where we talk only about the good stuff, KPOZ. And so today, as I'm sort of just making this up as I go, and by the way, if any of you out there are musicians and are so inclined, have a minute or two of extra time on your hand, can you come up with some kind of little jingle for my intro and outro of my little KPOZ program here? I'd love that. If any of you want to join me for a Zoom recording on this talking only about the good stuff, let me know. I'd love to have you. So the format I've kind of chosen so far is I'm going to tell you something that happened on this day in history, so we learn a little something, or we remember something from the past historically. And then we talk about a good story that I've either read or heard. That's where you come in. If you have good stories, let me know. And then I read a little something, either a quote or something inspiring to you. And that's what we're going to do. So today, what is today's something we can learn from history? Well, today in 1961, our man Alan Shepard was the first American to go into space. Now, if you remember, we were in a contest with the Russians. They beat us by about a month. They sent a guy up, and so as we Americans do, we hung in there and we sent Alan Shepard up into the atmosphere 116 miles. The flight lasted 15 minutes, and it was called Freedom 7. And as you may recall, also in July of 1969, we had Apollo 11, where the first American to walk on the moon was Neil Armstrong. And then our man Alan Shepard went and held that flag on Apollo 14 mission that Neil Armstrong placed on the moon in 1969. He did that in 1971, Alan Shepard did. So there you go, a little space history for you. Second thing here, an inspiring story that I read about. There's a family that live in Kansas. The mom, who's blind, lives in Topeka. And due to this timeout we're in, the daughter and her husband, and they have a little baby, got the mom and took them where they live in Kansas, which is 3 hours from Topeka. So they have the mom's house on this Ring camera thing, right? So they can see what's going on at the house. Well, they notice on their Ring camera that some guy is mowing the mom's yard because it's getting almost out of control. The weeds are getting really tall. And as a matter of fact, the daughter and her husband were going to drive 3 hours to the mom's house the following weekend to do exactly that, mow the yard, do some necessary upkeep since the mom isn't there every day. And they don't know who this guy is. They saw him on camera, had his overalls on, overalls, in this bright chartreuse looking shirt, and mowed the mom's yard. And they're looking for him to see if they can, first of all, thank him, and maybe they'll hire him to continue to do that. So how cool is that? That's a good story, isn't it? I liked it. So way to go, dude, in the overalls with the chartreuse shirt on. Now I'm going to read you something. This is from the book Beauty. It's titled Beauty. And the author is, excuse me, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see, is John O'Donohue. If you've not heard or read about him, he's no longer living, but a wonderful author. He wrote this, and I think it's very appropriate for what we are experiencing right now. It goes like this. If we could but find a rhythm of being which could balance a contemplative grace, a poetry of motion, and an accompanying stillness and silence, our pilgrimage through this world would flow in beauty through the most rugged and forsaken heartlands of confusion and dishevelment. Never lose passion of flowing toward the ever-new promise of the future. I also like this, and I don't know, I just wrote this in my journal, so I'm not sure if he wrote this or I heard it somewhere else. It says, hold your elegance regardless of what you are going through in your life. I think that's where I want to leave it today. Remember to hold your elegance. As I talked about last week on one of these videos, we have the opportunity to come out of this time out with grace and graciousness and grit. And for folks like myself who've kind of been in it the whole time, I'm starting to notice it's getting more active. They're starting to lift some of the restrictions here in the San Diego area where I live. And I just want to remind all the people who have been in their homes for this entire time, it's been pretty darn pleasant for us who've kind of been in the game all along to have less traffic and less humanness in the world. So as you come back out and enter into the day-to-day living, please be gracious, please be gentle, please be thoughtful, please be considerate, because it will matter and it's important. And so that's my message for today. All right, you all, get your grace on, get your grit on, get your gentleness on, and gratitude. Have yourself a kick-ass day. And that's it from KPOZ, KPOZ, where we talk only about the good stuff. Until I see you tomorrow, have a kick-ass day. Bye.